Formula 1 returns to Mexico for round 18 in the penultimate round of the 2018 season, a race which could see the Drivers' Championship decided if Fernando Alonso managed to outscore championship rival Josh Chero by 3 or more points come race day on Sunday. Red Bull were one of the teams expected to be strong out of the blocks, with the low altitude here at the circuit expecting to play more to the aerodynamic strengths of the Red Bull car and less so to the engine power weakness from the Cuzzy engine in the back of the car. Josh Chero within the drive expected to go well, as he's won this race twice before already. It's also the second way he's won his first championship back in 2016, and the Brit was lighting up the timesheets early on in the first two practice sessions. Toyota, another team, also lighting up the timing pages, albeit only down the speed traps, with the two cars of Kobayashi and Lewis Hamilton easily the fastest in a straight line. However, the two cars did look to be struggling more through the SS section in Sector 2 and through the Stadium section in Sector 3. Mercedes were looking for an all-round weekend, however Fernando Alonso looked to be struggling for early pace, was setting lap times just within the top 10 when he took his game from the race if he could take his third and long-awaited World Championship at this race. We both Toro Rosso to line up on the back row of the grid, with Nico Kari in 20th and Pierre Gasly just getting the better of his teammates by less than half a tenth of a second to start from 19th. It'll be the two McLarens lining up on row 9 of the grid, with Karl Majorda once again getting out-qualified by teammate Ria Haryanto. Nico Hülkenberg was disappointed to be the 5th driver knocked out in Q1, and Alonso progressed through into Q2, could get no higher than 15th on the grid. Just as it was back at Japan, Mick Schumacher starts from 14th place and Jean-Luc Vergne starts from 13th as the lead of the Renaults. Giovinazzi once again starts from inside the points places from P12. Fernando Alonso wouldn't even make it through into Q3, lining up in 11th, but he will have a free choice of tyre for the race. Ricky Kubica was disappointed with his lap when it mattered most to only line up in 10th place in Q3, with Charles Leclerc using the good straight line speed of that Sauber to his advantage to line up in P9. Sebastian Vettel starts from 8th place in the Ferrari, Danica Kvyat with an OK lap in qualifying starts from 7th in the Red Bull. Pascal Wehrlein starts lead of the Mercedes from P6, with Kobayashi starting from 5th place in the second of the two Toyotas. Adrian Sutter with his best qualifying for Ferrari starts from P4, and Josh Chero has it all to do starting from P3, but crucially he's way ahead of his championship rival Alonso. It's left to the front row to be decided by Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, taking pole by over 3 tenths from his nearest rival Verstappen was Lewis Hamilton in the Toyota. Hey guys, Taro here. Welcome back to the UniONE career, this time round 18 for the season, the penultimate race of the season. And this is an absolute must-win race for us in reality, because we need to outscore Alonso minimum, in effect, to keep the championship, to give us a realistic chance of winning the championship next race. But Lewis Hamilton starting up front, and that Toyota is so fast in a straight line that pretty much the strand speed that they gain makes up for this time that they lost through the corners. Also, Adrian Sutter starting from P4. It's been a while since he started this far up the grid, and he's running out of chances to get a podium with the Scuderia. So, could this be the race where he actually manages to do it? And also, Fernando Alonso starting down in P11 could even make the top 10 shootout, but he's starting on a harder compound of tyres, so he could be doing a one stop. So the time for doing one less stop could mitigate the poor pace he's having so far this weekend. Now then, looking back onto us now, starting from P3 with Max Verstappen. He seems his team's revitalised ever since his win back at USA. And of course, Hamilton there on pole position. Adrian Sutter is going to be gunning for glory to try and get a podium. Kobayashi's also got a point to prove as well. And also Pascal Wehrlein in 6th place. And I'm surrounded by all the drivers that got a point to prove and could well end up taking me out at the start. So I'm surrounded by drivers I don't want to be near. Either way, coming to the 5 red lights to start the Mexican Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go after a very short hold that was. Looks like he's been a previous. Actually, it's Sutter there. Looks like he's got a blinding start now. 20 side by side now with Verstappen. It doesn't look like he's gone anywhere off the line, really. You've got Kobayashi, he also had a fast start as well. Now, was going 4-5 wide, possibly even now. Down the start finish right now, down into turn 1. There's a bit for Kobayashi on the grass. With a massive dive to the inside line. He's up now into 2nd place, challenging now the Toyota there of Kamui Kobayashi. He's had a great run. It's a Toyota 1-2 as things stand. You've got Adrian Sutter there, he just manages to fend off ourselves and was doing massive battle there with the German. But Robbie Kubica got from 10th place up into 3rd there, right on the back though of Kobayashi now. We've got Sutter trying to go around the outside line and go the inside, but Sutter there defends to the inside line coming into the braking zone. And there's the guy behind us now. We actually got Charles Leclerc as well, so that's him now in 7th, 6th, 7th place, and you have Max Verstappen as the car behind him. The Verstappen went absolutely nowhere off the start. I don't know, he just wasn't expecting the lights to go off that quickly, so maybe he got a bit bottomed down or something, but I don't know, with Verstappen, I thought he's usually pretty good on the start, but seems definitely not this time. As we come now through the SS section now for the first time now of 36 in the race, and we're running out a little bit wide. I mean, the car definitely feels a bit unstable in the dirty air, because despite high-speed corners being what the car favours, with the low air here, as it seems to be about 2,000 feet or so above sea level. Yeah, we could do with a bit more downforce on the cars, and downforce isn't ever really been Williams' strong point, honestly, ever since the 2000s. And now Lewis Hamilton puts up the first lap of the Grand Prix, but that's no surprise really, since he's the one actually leading the race. Then we've got Charles Leclerc now looking very racy actually up behind us. We're going to actually go DRS here. This is pure engine power. He's going to blast us over. What is that absolute bullet straight line speed? Looks like that engine turned up to the max or something. Charles Leclerc going to try to outbrake his Monaco driver around the outside of us, but Leclerc there, he has the inside line covered now. Leclerc gets up now into P5. And actually, is he going to try and chase down? Is Leclerc going to do another podium charge? I mean, he's making quite the habit of being up in a lofty height recently in the Sauber Alfa Romeo car, which remember, they're only 6th in championship, which in theory should mean they should be in 11th and 12th, if you think about it, for where the cars should be based on championship position. But Charles Leclerc is up here in P5. He's already got, what, 2 podiums to his name, 3 podiums under his belt already. I mean, now we've got Daniel Kvyat behind it actually. So what's happened to Verstappen? Is he just dropped off the face of the earth or something? Has he damaged his tyres? Has he got some kind of car issue maybe? Maybe because the engine's not working too well up here at this height already. Now then we've got Charles Leclerc actually looking fairly interested now in the car in front of him. It was actually Kubica. Somewhere Adrian Sutil has overtaken our teammate Kubica. I didn't actually see that until now. I just looked at the dot on the mini-map. And then we've got Charles Leclerc right behind the back of him. If he breezes past Kubica as easy as me, then Charles Leclerc must be using up a lot of rich res now. As Kirby actually now puts up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Of course, no DRS here. That won't be available. Until this happens once again, it's going to be about the pure engine power and the decision. Now look at this, Charles Leclerc, it's a massive straight line speed. He's just going to blast past Kubica. Basically like he's not even there. And then on the run now down into turn 1, he's made the move sticker. Actually, we've got Daniel Kvyat looking very racy behind us, so me and Kubica look to be struggling actually for a big straight line speed. Because since our car's massively fast anyway, maybe BMW, the Williams team, thought they could put a bit more wing on to give us a bit of help through the S's section. But it seems that maybe that might not have been the way to go. Because we've got a Red Bull cars here, though it is Daniel Kvyat. Kvyat is blindingly quick in anything you give him. I mean, he got a podium in the Toro Rosso in 2015, so he was just proving the point there. But no, we're still in P6 now. Kubica, you've got to get out of my way, mate. You're not in the championship fight anymore, and you don't need to be holding me up 3 seconds now. We're going to get a load of dirty air from the back of him. Look at that, he's already fallen away from Charles Leclerc. So yeah, these Williams really not working in these conditions. We got a horrible end of finding new parts of the track. Thankfully, we don't get a warning there for track limits. I don't think we actually gain anything by going out there. We do set our personal best second sector though, so I think we got lucky there to get away without any kind of warning or anything. And then through the stadium sector now, we're right up behind the back now of Kubica. We're basically just pushing you through the stadium few corners there. And I mean, you need a good run here. Out the final corner, we've got a pretty good one. Kubica is lightning on the traction, which he always seems to be pretty good at on corner exits. He just throughout the rest of the lap, he just seems to be struggling a little bit. Now we're going to have DRS now on the back of our teammate coming up now to the DRS point here. And we've already got DRS wide open. We've got chip on the go forward to go down to 210 miles an hour. We're going to go around the outside line of Kubica. He brakes really early. Gives me the apex. Missed it a little bit, but just want to make sure I didn't chop his nose off. But thanks, Kubica. Thanks for that. But now you've got to play your rear gunning now. I mean, fair play to Kubica. He was in the championship fight. He's not in the fourth issue. I mean, he did back in Japan because mathematically he was still in the fight then. After USA, it's only me and Alonso now that can go for the championship. I would say our personal best first sector by almost 7/10 by just showing really how much good pace we have. Well, I mean, when you get when you get DRS and stitching as well as the back of your teammate, you're going to go fast anyway. Moving a bit further on, looking at the battle a bit further back, one of the runners here being possibly overtaken now by one of the Toro Rosso Hondas into turn 1. A nice move there from whichever Toro that is. I didn't quite see. Actually, that's Nico Kari. And what is this? Is this his 5th Grand Prix? He's just overtaken the works Renault, and that's going to give Honda something to smile about. So maybe the engine isn't all too bad after all. It could just well end up being the Toro Rosso car as a whole that's been possibly holding the engine back all this time, because that works Renault. The Renault, they've definitely been improving in the second half of the season. Don't know why Hulk's so far back. Maybe this track's just not agreeing with him or something. And let's go up in front of Kari. It's another Renault-powered car of the McLaren. We actually, and Harriento's actually in front of Hulk as well. So Hulk's had an absolute mare start to this race. Pretty much almost as bad really as what Verstappen's is, given the cars that they're behind. But now you've got one of the Hasses right up here in front of Rio Hayato. The Hasses haven't really ever worked here around the Mexico track. The high altitude is definitely not something that suits the car. Although Alex Rossi set the fastest lap here in 2016, that's pretty much the only thing they've accomplished. I don't think they've actually scored points in this race yet. I know they definitely did last year because I think Mick Schumacher ended up getting lapped last year, so yeah, it wasn't a good race for them. You've got Pierre Gasly up in front of the Haas. So Gasly had a good start. I mean, the Taurus is on the back row of the grid. They made up a fair few places from the start, so definitely signs of progress coming from Taurus to Honda. So could be a good sign for what Red Bull have for next season with the Honda engine as they run now down into turn 1. All these three cars, they're going to stay in position. Actually, there's a bit of action now happening a bit further behind. Zuckerberg's going to try and go back around the outside line now. Off Nicky Kari's going to make him wide for the position though. Going to have the outside line for turn 2, which then turns to the inside line once again for turn 3. He's just going to give Hulk enough room, gives him a little bit of a squeeze, but keeps him out to the curbing. But now it is a double DRS, and Hulk has a DRS once again. Macari in the section, actually trying to go around the outside line once again. He's going to force the issue once again into the next corner. And just tries to go for a bit of a switchback line there, but Hulk just swipes across his nose there. But fair play to Kari, great driving from the young Finn, even without DRS, keeping up with Hulkenberg, so yeah. He's in good pace, but now all the way on to lap 9. It's still behind Charles Leclerc, as it seemed we were confirmed to the pit crew that we're pitting it in his lap, but honestly, nothing really happened in those few laps. I mean, we've now got Alonso up behind us, so he's had a blinding start to the race. Of course, had harder tyres as well, so this is where his tyres will be coming into their own. Now then, we come now into the pit lane for our first of 2 stops, and we're going to another set of Hypersoft tyres, or we're going to be a 7 ultras. It's a 2-stop race for us regardless, but I don't feel like we possibly get another set of Hypers to the end of the race to see what the pit crew decide. No, it's going to be 2 sets of ultras and they take us to the end of the race. I'm thinking maybe he could have gone in a set of Hypers, but then we went on because we did qualifying as well, so he could have got to maybe lap 20 or so. But then again, 16 laps on the set of ultras probably would have been quite a stretch as well. I mean, we don't need to take any risks now at this stage in the championship, especially since I need to beat Fernando Alonso, so I need maximum pace. So going on harder tyres, they're a harder compound, but like Mark Webber was used to do, you can push the tyres more because there's more grip in them, they last longer. So although the tyre compound is slower, you can drive harder on it. And now we're in 13th place, so we're just one place outside the points. But we've got Rio Haryanto as a driver from us, so Danny Kvyat also came for a stop as well on the set of ultras as well. So like all the 2 stoppers is going to be 2 stops and 2 sets of ultras for everyone. Now then, we're got a bit wide because even though we're on fresh tyres, you're still in the dirty air off that McLaren Renault. And I'm going to catch it now just at the worst point. Well, at least I'm not right up behind it, so there's still time to gain yet. Looking through this section, just look how much I'm gaining on the back of that McLaren. Even without newer tyres, I'd be going so much quicker. We're now a bit wide once again, the dirty air. As soon as we get close, really not agreeing with our car. Coming in, to have a little bit of a look just to see if we can put Haryanto off. But he's a pretty good driver, although me and him do have some pretty close history this season, where he did cost me the win of the Italian Grand Prix. So that cost me 5 points. So yeah, that 5 points could be crucial come the end of the championship. But now then, down the straight, we're going to easily just, well, I hope easily just blast past Haryanto with the DRS, and that McLaren's got so much drag on it. Now that we're getting, actually, we've got Charles Leclerc behind us, so we've managed to jump Leclerc. Now we're going to just, and Haryanto's even got DRS open as well. We've got absolutely nothing compared to our BMW Williams now into turn 1. We managed to make the apex there with a really tight line there to the inside line. And through turn 2 and 3. Managed to get through there okay as well. And now this is where we need to scamper away. Because Charles Leclerc, it's his turn to be stuck up behind Haryanto, and he's a lot closer to Rio than what we were. So now he's going to get held up now through the second sector here, which crucially is what we want, so now we can scamper away from Charles Leclerc, at least I hope anyway. Unless Haryanto's got some kind of like mega pace or something. Now they see we're already pulling away about a second or so gap to Haryanto. Now through the S's here, there's going to be absolutely nothing that Charles Leclerc can do. He's just going to have to follow Haryanto through here. You can just see how much time we've pulled now on our newer tyres and also in a better car. Charles Leclerc is not going to waste time going into the staging section. He's going to try and make a move now on the inside line of Haryanto coming into break. He makes the move stick even before the corner. Haryanto tried to have a little look back at the inside line. Going to make a stick. I mean, fair play to Charles Leclerc. He wasn't waiting to make the move. We could at least made it in the stadium sector to give the crowd something to cheer about. A few runs to the side may have seen that move. But then Haryanto he's going to have DRS, but I don't think it's make any difference. But now then we've got the 2 Red Bulls lined up behind, and they really have dropped back. Although they're in about 6th and 7th now, well, at least net anyway. Now one's going to go for a move now on the other. Is that Verstappen? It is Verstappen just going to blast past now. Daniel Kvyat, so Verstappen looks like he's finally woken up again. Maybe he's solved his car issues or something. Because there's no way he should have dropped back so much at the start, but now it's like he's gonna have a nice fight back on his hands now. You have to do what Kvyat usually doesn't have a fight back. It's like Kvyat. He's been struggling a little bit for pace when he only qualified down in 8th, so you know, on a track which really should have favoured the Red Bull, you'd think anyway, but maybe just the power deficit is just too much for them to make up. Now moving a bit further on, looking further back once again at the Toro Rosso Honda, going on now behind the back here of one of the McLarens. I don't know which one it is. Oh, engine failure though for this Toro Rosso, so they're going to be going in failure. So is that which Toro Rosso is that? Is that Pierre Gasly? It is! 2 engine failures in a row there for Pierre Gasly, and that's definitely not going to please the Honda bosses. It's going to the end of the season, we get all the stress now on the parts, and it seems during the season on minimal engines for Honda, they've still got a long way to go on the reliability. Well, looking further on now, looking back now to Fernando Alonso, who's currently splitting the Toyotas because he hasn't actually pitted yet now, saying that he actually comes out into the pits for what should be his one and only stop of the Grand Prix. Because you think something on the harder tyres, you're going now to a set of Supers, I think is the hardest compound for this race. I can't quite see there from this camera what tyres they are, but I'm thinking I see red on those tyres. So yeah, the set of Supers got the hardest compound. So Alonso's got to go to the end of the race now on that set of tyres. And it depends on, is he going to have good enough pace on them? I mean, he's going to gain 20 seconds or so by making one less stop. But is the tyre compound being slower enough to keep him in front? Actually, he's going to come out behind one of the Ferraris. Is this Suttle or is this Vettel? I can't quite tell. And it is the Ferrari of Vettel. Vettel's really not featured in this Grand Prix at all so far. I mean, his consistency was what keeping his championship before. Now he's got a bit back behind. I've got Kubica doing better now with one of the Renaults there with Jean-Eric Vergne. Of course, the driver who'll be losing his championship crown at the end of the next race. And he's all over the back though. Of our teammate Kubica going to try and look down on the outside line. We just can't make a single try to give a switch around, but Kubica just parks his car beautifully there on the apex. Kubica, a really experienced driver. Even on his comeback as well, he's been honestly really impressive as well, given the injury he sustained. And then all the way on to lap 22. Quite a bit further on from when we last saw ourselves. But yeah, once again, just nothing really happened up for us. But now we're finally catching up though to Adrian Suttle. And it's also time for us to come in now for our second stop. So yeah, really not a lot happens here when you're up front, really. I mean, we're chasing down Suttle, and then we've caught up to him, but then nothing's really happened. We just haven't been quite able to get past him yet. But Suttle is going to carry on for another lap, so he's going to need to put in the absolute in-lap of his life. Because this is the fight for the podium, because you've got the 2 Toyotas leading 1-2. And if it stays like that, Toyota are on for their first ever 1-2 finish in Formula 1. They come for another set though of the ultra soft tyres, and these tyres barring any safety cars or anything, but we haven't seen the safety car so far this season, and I doubt we're going to see it in this race at all. So yeah, if things play out as they normally do, these tyres will take us to the end of the race. And also Danny Kvyat comes in there for his stop as well. And also, is that one of the Ferraris coming behind us? I imagine that's probably Seb Vettel, because yeah, it has to be, because Adrian Suttle carried on. You've got Verline there coming in for his second stop as well. So Verline, he's doing good. He's kept himself in the mix in this race as well. And Sebastian Vettel really is being outshone by Suttle in this race. I don't know what it is. Suttle was just doing an absolute madness so far. Because the Ferraris, they're not the best car in the world. But now Suttle, he is coming in now for his final stop now. His final scheduled stop anyway of the Grand Prix. And it should be another set of ultras for the German, and it looks like it is. Why I'm not seeing a pink stripe on this tyre, so it has to be at least ultras. I doubt it'll be going on to supers. Well then, was that in-lap? Because this is the lap after us, so has this in-lap been good enough for Suttle? See now coming out now back onto the track, and it depends. Have we already gone past him? I don't know. Actually, there we are. Is this us behind this Williams BMW? So yeah, I'm pretty sure this has to be us. It is, and we've actually come out behind Suttle. How has he gained so much time on us? I mean, he's gained like what, 2.5, maybe even 3 seconds there. He must have turned everything up to the max for that in-lap to keep for us, because Suttle, he's on for his first Ferrari podium. I mean, he was promoted because Jean-Eric Vergne left the team. If things played out as they were, he would have been in the Alfa Romeo Sauber for the rest of the season, but he's got his chance now to get a podium now with the Scuderia. And it's the 2 Toyotas, unsurprisingly leading 1-2 with Hamilton in front, then again back to Kobayashi. Then in third place is currently Fernando Alonso, making that one stop work to absolute perfection at the minute. But then it's Suttle, I'm pretty sure there's something to say about that. And of course then you got me right up behind the back of him as well. I'm coming for that podium, Suttle. I mean, nothing personal, honestly. I really like you, Suttle, but I need those points. As it stands right now, Alonso will be getting 15 points. Actually, no, he gained 12 points finishing in third. Suttle gets 10, I get 8. As it stands right now, Alonso is world champion. And if it was anyone in front of me, I need to get past you, Suttle. Or you overtake Alonso. That would work perfectly fine as well, honestly. Now we're getting though in the DRS though on the back of Sutter. We're getting, look how much speed we've got over that Ferrari, and we're going to go defensive to the outside line. Sutter's going to give us the racing line, but now coming now into the corner, going to sweep over and outside. Sutter goes lay on the brakes. He's going to make us work for this position. Now we have the inside line for turn 2, which enters the outside. Sutter with a massive burst of speed and just floored it there. No fear whatsoever. I mean, I say no fear, more just pure desperation really. He managed to keep it from blowing. We have DRS once again coming down now into turn 4, and it was a little bit too far back there to make a move. I'm Sutter doesn't even defend because we're way too far back. I'm not going for a dive up the inside line. I'm not risking crashing into you. I'd rather finish behind you than crash into you. Although, as it stands right now, we're not going to win the championship, so I may have to go for a do-or-die move at some point in this race. And we've got Charles Leclerc now 12 seconds nearly behind us, so yeah, he's not going to be a factor in the rest of this race. It's all about me getting past to look at a world of understeer. This car is not working at all in the dirty air. Of course, being stuck right up behind the back of Adrian this close as well. This is going to be overheating our tyre, or just giving us more tyre wear. You can just feel I can go so much quicker than what Adrian can. Just, I can't get past him where it matters. I mean, I had the chance down the straight, and despite us fighting still, we're still actually reeling in Alonso on this lap, so the super soft tyres really have absolutely no speed whatsoever. And coming across the line, look at that, we're 2 seconds down on the best lap, and that's just from fighting with Adrian. And we've gained about half the time Alonso, so Alonso is going about 4 seconds slower than what me and Sutter are really. We come into turn 1, braking zone. We gain back a little bit on Sutter, but Sutter is going pretty late on the brakes as well, so imagine he's just throwing caution to the wind now. He's so desperate for this podium. I mean, you can see he must have been told by now that Alonso's in front of him for position because he's already made his pit stop. And we've got a bit of cloud cover coming now to actually go purple through the first setup. Then again, we had 2 bikes of DRS following a car that's pretty nippy in straight lines. The Ferrari's not the best car overall, but it's got a pretty damn good engine though, as the Sauber Alfa Romeo has shown us enough times already this season. Sutter though, he's, like I said before, he's doing an absolute madness, outpacing 5-time champion Sebastian Vettel. That's going to be something pretty good to go out on with your career, depending whether he gets to podium or not. And look at that, we're all over the place. I mean, we're creating new parts of the track. You can almost lose the rear of the car completely. I slammed it into the wall there because there's absolutely no grip out there. That's really not where you want to be out on the track. We've only got just under half a lap of extra fuel left to use. We've got 8 laps of race left to go, so I've been pushing out to keep up with Sutter, but it's really not been working out for us so far. But now Sutter is right onto the back now of Fernando Alonso. Could this be a change for the podium position? If Sutter gets past Alonso, then we're back in business. The championship cannot be decided if Sutter gets past him. But now he's got DRS though on the back of the Merc, but Alonso also has DRS though on the back of the McLaren, which is a lapped car for him as well, of Carmen Jordan coming down 9-1. Jordan goes to the inside line to try and let Alonso pass, but there's nowhere really there, he can just let him through. I mean, she went to the apex, so Alonso could have gone around that side if he wanted to, but he's just playing a bit cautious because he doesn't want to have contact there with Carmen Jordan. And now that puts Adrian Sutter right onto the back though. All the Spaniards now, with them two getting stuck up behind Jordan, that's put us right back into as well. So maybe Jordan did that on purpose because me and her were teammates in 2015. I mean, pretty good teammates as well, so maybe she's doing me a slight favour there. And then through the second sector now, you look at us three different teams, 3 different engines as well, all with different reasons to get onto the podium. And now Sutter once again is going to try and go for another attack now on Fernando Alonso. Of course, now DRS doesn't have any defence to come back with this time. And Sutter's going to pull to the inside line, and he's going to Alonso forcing the issue, but Sutter's just going to breeze past Fernando Alonso. So I don't know what it is. Maybe he's running some kind of like 2009 Force India setup or something. You know, they didn't race here in 2009. So he almost got a pole position at Monza with a low drag setup and scored his first points in that race as well. So yeah, maybe he's going with what works. Low drag seems to work for Adrian, and now he's back onto the podium. As we come now into the braking zone, we've got 6 laps of the race left. Well, 5.5 really. And we need to get past. Well, we don't need to get past Alonso. It's not critical, but it will sure help us in our championship fight. Because as it stands right now, we're going to be about nearly 20 points behind. So the championship will go to the final race, and it's going to be an absolute must-win for us. I think let's look how much speed we're getting there on the back of Alonso. Now we're getting now in the switch stream on the back. The Spaniards are going to get defensive to the inside line. We're trying to have a pop around the side, but Alonso blocks the apex and try to get around the outside line. Alonso just squirts the throttle and sends it back through. And reading there, I backed out that move honestly, because I think I made a bit of counter there with Alonso. I don't want to make a move by pushing him out of the way. Because if anything like in Fiat Supercars, if you make a move by pushing them out of the way, you get absolutely destroyed by the stewards. I think with my way with track limits through the SS sector, I've already had enough leeway from them. No, we've got DRS once again on the back now of Fernando Alonso coming down this straight now. Alonso, of course, he's going to be doing everything he can to try and defend from us once again. We can try and go around the outside line into the corner. We can try and around the outside line into turn 1, which then gives us the inside line into turn 2. Looks like we made a mistake, but Alonso keeps it around the outside line. Going now through turn 3. We're going to keep it side by side. We've got the apex there. We've got the racing line. We've got the clean part of road as well. And also, crucially, we've also got DRS as well. But now Alonso is going to try and keep it now then around the outside line. Going up now into turn 4. We have the inside line for this time. They're going to try and keep it here side by side. Alonso going to try and go around the outside line. We lock wheels there a little bit with Alonso. And coming now around the outside line once again. Now into turns 6 and 7. Still going to take around the line. Getting really argy-bargy there with Fernando Alonso. But Alonso, despite that, somehow managed to keep himself in front. Remember, I made a crucial move around Bottas there in 2015. Now then through this, the SSX now we're stuck right up behind the back of Alonso once again. Because we can keep it nice and relaxed this time because we know how slow Alonso is. And we have to cut the corner there a little bit. The car just would not turn whatsoever. Alonso gets to this line once again. We try and go in the outside line now into the stadium sector. Try to keep Alonso gets very, very aggressive there. Goes very well. It almost does really a Rosberg, but at least he actually made the corner turn. No, then Soto just absolutely good. Soto's now started the next lap. He's gone that far up the road. How slow Alonso is perfectly timed to this, and as long as it's not illegal blocking, which this isn't, he's perfectly timed. Look at that! I lost 5.5 seconds on that lap to my best lap. That's how slow Alonso is going, really. Now, once again, with DRS now, going to try and blast past Alonso. He goes to the inside line once again. And try to go around the outside line. And now into the brakes there once again. Alonso just keeps his nose in there up the inside line. He's going to force the issue once again. But now they're going to try and force it out. But no, he just keeps it there once again. He just breathes himself up the inside line, just putting his cars. He's risking it all now because it's his to lose, really. He's the one with the championship advantage. And now then, you're going to, once again, you're going to try and go around the outside line now. That's going to try and go the opposite way around now. Into time for a way around the outside line. Run a bit wide, keep himself there on the inside line. And he swipes at us. And he knocked off half for a wing. Now you're going to try and keep it down and run the outside line. Which then says it's but oh no, I absolutely cannot turn whatsoever. This thing is literally, this is like a 2019 Williams now with how slow it's going. Now he's going to check it around the outside line once again. He just makes the corner though. But no, I've literally got a plank of a front wing now on my car. And now then, oh dear, look at this. I absolutely cannot turn anymore. Alonso, he's destroyed my front wing. And now he's going to beat me in the race. Jordan, what are you doing? Don't even think about it, Jordan. Do not think about it. She's actually going to set it on this line. What are you doing, Jordan? You're a backmarker car. Get out of my way. I mean, I get it. I've got no front wing. But why are you doing this, Jordan? You've been like, I don't know, 18th place. Probably last. Let's face it. But now we've got Charles Leclerc right up behind us. Leclerc, remember, was like, I don't know, 12 odd seconds behind us or something. No, then he's going to have DRS now, but then again, I got DRS on to save myself now with the back of Carmen Jordan. It can be side by side. Oh my god, almost just plough into the back of Carmen Jordan there. That could not have been any closer. Jordan, what are you doing, woman? Now we come now into the corner. We're going to go solo out the brakes. We can't even turn the car. That was just me trying to make the corner. Let's be clear there. This car just had absolutely no interest whatsoever getting around the corner. Then we've got DRS once again. Actually, no, the DRS isn't actually opening this time. Great, now my DRS doesn't work. So now my rear wing's not working either. Charles Leclerc, though, he's just going to breeze past us now into P5. And as it stands now, is that championship deciding? I'm not too sure, really. Actually, yes, so Alonso's in P4. Who gets 20, 15, 12. Alonso gets 10 points. Charles Leclerc gets 8. I get 7. So, yeah, Alonso is winning the championship once again right now, as things stand. And I, once again, can absolutely not make my way through that corner. Look at that, I'm just finding absolutely new limits. I mean, I've got as much downforce on my front wing now. I think I've got less downforce than what a HRT did, quite honestly. I think I've got as much downforce as the Super Aguri from 2006, which is basically the Arrows from 2002 to start with. Now then, we've got the two Toyotas here now, line astern. Of course, keeping themselves close together because they're still on for the first ever 1-2 in Formula 1 as things stand. But now we've got Kobayashi. He's going to make a move on Lewis Hamilton. Kobayashi now takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix with only a handful of laps left to go. And then into the corner, can he get his car? So it's a huge knock up though from Kobayashi, but Hamilton there keeps himself to the apex. He doesn't fall to the issue. That actually, to me, looks very, very orchestrated because it could be Toyota's first ever 1-2. And why would they not want their native driver to be the one that wins the race with this landmark in the team's history? So Lewis Hamilton, I mean, there's not in the championship fights. Maybe he's a case play second fiddle to his teammate this one time. Now then, onto the final lap now of the Grand Prix. Alonso's now the driver in front of us. Charles Leclerc, you're my absolute best friend. You've overtaken Fernando Alonso. And that means the championship's back on. Alonso can't win it right now as things stand. And we've got Danny Kvyat now right up behind us. I don't know, once again, I don't know where Max Verstappen's disappeared off to. Now we've got half lap left to go, and it's critical now that we keep in front of Danny Kvyat, because these points could matter. If Danny Kvyat gets in front of us, I think Alonso might actually end up winning the championship now, as Kamui Kobayashi wins his first ever Grand Prix. So congrats there to Kamui. And then through the sector, look at that, I have absolutely no turning ability whatsoever now. It's time to go as well. And now here comes Danny Kvyat now to try and make a move past us now. Coming out, he says he's going to go for a dive on the inside line. He's going to keep it now around the outside line. Now he's going to force him to make a big wheel budging. Oh, he's budging off even more my front wing. I've got absolutely nothing left now. I've literally got no front wing attached to my car. Seriously, why is it? Everyone's got it out of me? Because someone just that's the wall as well. And I'm so lucky there that I did not hit off my wheel. If I'd have retired then, well, I could have just drove the car around on 3 wheels, really. Yeah, I was lucky to get across the line in P7. But Alonso in P5, I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if he's won the race. I don't know if he's won the championship, but winning the race, though, is Kamui Kobayashi for his first ever Grand Prix victory.
Good job, Kamui. Good job. Good job, Kamui. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And indeed it is his teammate Lewis Hamilton that comes across the line in second place for Toyota's first ever 1-2 finish in Formula 1. And there you can see Vijay Mallya, of course, sold what was his Force India team to Toyota, and it seems to have worked out pretty good for them as Kobayashi takes his first ever Grand Prix victory. And also this will be Toyota's 4th win now of the season, and they really are becoming now a force to be reckoned with. If only they could have done this the first time around back in 2005 when that one had their first good car, but it's finally coming good for them now, and Jean-Luc Vergne just scrapes the point there, coming home in 12th place. Taking a look at the end results, and Kobayashi would indeed take his first Grand Prix victory in Formula 1, and was in the end actually nearly 10 seconds clear of Hamilton, so Hamilton really dropped off in the end. Adrian Sutil gets his first podium for Ferrari, going home in 3rd. Charles Leclerc in P4 with Alonso in 5th. Then Daniel Kvyat coming across the line in P6 with ourselves down in 7th. Then Sebastian Vettel finishes where he started, actually in 8th place, and was actually not too far behind us. Then Pascal Wehrlein finishes down in 9th place with Giovinazzi riding off the top 10, with our teammate Kubica down in 11th in the end, and Jean-Luc Vergne, as we saw, rounds off the points in 12th. Mick Schumacher would have finished on the lead lap this time, but there still won't be points, coming home in 13th ahead of Rio Haryanto, but only just. Haryanto there with some pretty good pace actually to keep up. And Hulkenberg in 15th after making 3 stops. What strategy were Renault trying there, but wherever it was, it really didn't work out. Then you have Shaw in 16th place. Then Nika Kari wins the Battle of the Toro Rossos, of course, since he was the only one that actually finished. Coming home in 17th place ahead of Carmen Jorda as the last of the finishers, and Max Verstappen actually retired from the Grand Prix. Well, I mean, that would explain why he disappeared. With Pierre Gasly also, as we saw, who went out in quite spectacular fashion early on in the race. Moving on to the driver standings, and Fernando Alonso is not the world champion. He is only 19 points in front of us, so it is an absolute must-win race for us next time out at Brazil, and we need Alonso to not score any points. And Hamilton is in P3. He's actually not too far off behind us now. He's in a bit of a no man's land of his own there in 3rd place. Then we go down to Kvyat in P4, 6 points ahead of our teammate Kubica. And Kubica in turn is 7 points ahead of Seb Vettel. And Verstappen, despite not finishing the race, is still in 7th, with Pascal Wehrlein in 8th. Kamui Kobayashi now gets ahead. Charles Leclerc gets now into 9th place now. Can he break the 100-point barrier within the next race? We've got Charles Leclerc now down, running off the top 10, and he's 3 points clear now of Adrian Sutil, because Sutil got a few points back on him in this race, with Hulkenberg rounding off the top 12 in the Renault. Vergne remains in 13th on 46 points, 2 points clear now of Mick Schumacher, with Stroll in 15th and Ricciardo still in 16th. Now Giovinazzi gets himself now up in 17th place now on 5 points, joined with Haryanto, but on better result he's ahead. And this drops Pierre Gasly down into 19th place with 4 points, with leaving Massachusetts and Jorda both on 1, with Carlos Sainz and Nika Kari still the only 2 yet to score. Finally now, moving on to the constructors standings, and Williams still lead the constructors, but we're only 4 points clear now of Mercedes, and it is only going to be a two-way fight now, because Red Bull, they're 46 points behind and there's only 35 points available now. So yes, it's Williams versus Mercedes in the drivers and in the constructors as well. And Red Bull now, they're actually only 9 points clear now of Toyota. Toyota could actually end up sneaking into 3rd place here come the end of the season, the next race. But the Ferrari, they're not sneaking ahead of anyone. They're definitely set now in 5th place. And they're on as many points now as what Jean-Eric Vergne scored on his own for the Drivers' Championship last season. So yeah, back to the drawing board for Ferrari for next year. Then we got Alfa Romeo Sauber in 6th place. And they're set now in their position in 6th. So the only other battle really, well, the 3rd battle is between Renault and Haas for 7th place in the Constructors, and also the battle for not finishing last between McLaren and Toro Rosso. So remember to vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that'll be in the video description. Also leave a like if you enjoyed this race, leave a comment down below as well. Subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. So remember to give me a follow on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. They'll be linked in the description down below, along with the 3 livery mods used, so the BMW M striped livery on the Williams, the Alfa Romeo Sauber livery and the BWT livery on the Toyota. They'll be linked down in the description if you got this game on PC and you want to give them a download and use them yourself. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.